Hi everyone, I'm Melissa. Welcome back to Out There. We are out there talking about Up Here. This is Hulu's musical rom-com series, and I caught up with the one and only Tony Award-winning writer, Stephen Levenson. Check it out.
This isn't your life, this is my life.
I am sick and tired of everyone telling me what I'm supposed to do.
So there is incredible talent on the screen for this project, but also behind the scenes. The minds behind Frozen, Hamilton, and of course yourself, Tick, Tick, Boom. How did this behind the scenes collaboration come together?
The way it really all started was that Tommy Kail, the director of the first two episodes and an executive producer, had reached out to Bobby and Kristen, and he asked if they had anything that they were interested in developing for TV, and this came to mind as a project that they had long been gestating for the stage. It was a moment where we really weren't sure when theater was going to come back, if theater was going to come back. It was a really scary moment, and it felt like this was a really fun way to keep writing something.
Keep it alive,
yes,
right?
to keep musicals going.
Did we wake up at the same?
I've been up since 4.
Right. Now, I have to ask you mentioned Thomas Kail. You guys have worked together before. What is this writer-director collaboration? I like to call it the love language between a writer-director. How would you describe that, and how important is it?
All directors are different. I think with Tommy, he really he gives you the freedom as a writer and as a creator to bring forth what you have inside of you. So he's constantly curious about what your intentions were in writing, how you see it, how you envision it, where it came from, how you're feeling about it.
Nice.
So he does a lot of listening, I would say.
Right.
Did you always want to be a writer?
I think I always knew I had something to say, but just afraid no one wanted to hear it.
So I have to talk a bit about the series and some characters. So Lindsay. Now Lindsay is a character who, is, has this fear of, and, puts his fear aside of following her dreams. Is there, as a writer, now, is there a little bit of you in there somehow?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think there's a piece of me probably in both of these characters. Lindsay is someone who lives with a lot of critics in her head, and lives with a lot of fear of taking a chance and a lot of fear of upsetting people and saying the wrong thing. And she wants to be nice and she wants to be liked. And I think it's certainly something I find myself dealing with and confronting. And certainly as an artist, you're always up against,
and questioning yourself sometimes, right? Do you feel that? I mean, after everything you have so far in your career have done, do you still feel sometimes you're, kind of fighting that little voice?
Always. No, I wish I could say otherwise, but it's certainly, those voices don't go away. Like you maybe have a better argument against them, but they don't listen to arguments very well either.
Right.
So
Careful now.
Keep it to yourself, Linz. I just have all these voices in my head all the time.
Now you've done it.
One of the themes of this is obviously, listening to your heart and, and kind of following your heart versus that inner voice. Let's talk about you and how, you take those actions to kind of follow your heart sometimes.
Oh, it's very difficult. I think it's the most difficult thing in the world sometimes, is to really listen to yourself and not to those voices that I think are well-intentioned in your head, that are trying to keep you safe, but are ultimately sometimes keeping you back. I mean, I think sometimes I do have to make decisions that don't feel good.
Right.
It's really the truth. I have to step before I actually feel like there's solid ground. Sometimes you have to be a little bit intellectually on board with what you're doing before you can be emotionally. Like it's the right thing, but it feels awful because you always have a bad feeling. Sometimes it's about just not listening.
Oh, okay. Well said. Well, thank you. That is a great note to wrap this up. Everyone, check it out Up Here. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. Such a pleasure.
You're gonna be okay?
I can handle it.
Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on social media at Melissa DiMarco for more exclusive content with your favorite celebs. I'll see you guys out there.